I'm Darrin Duling, the Associate Director of the Arthur and Phyllis Kaplan Orchid Conservatory at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia. I grew up here in Virginia, between Richmond and the Chesapeake Bay area, and even as a small kid, all I wanted to do was play in the woods. And then when I was about 11 or 12 years old, I went out in the woods one early spring and found a huge patch of Pink Lady Slipper Orchids growing wild. And they just captivated me. I couldn't believe something so exotic looking and beautiful were just there, you know, that they were part of nature. And it made me want to explore and look for more wildflowers and animals and birds, etc. And it set off a lifetime of exploration. I started off in a horticulture landscape design program at J. Sargent Reynolds Community College in Richmond. And my motivation was to become a landscape architect. And I was poised to transfer into a master's degree program at another university when I met someone from the Royal Horticultural Society of England who was giving a lecture at our botanic garden in Richmond. And they told me about a one-year training program that in his words, you know, you will meet all the best horticulturists, all the greatest garden designers. You can visit some of the finest gardens in the world. Why not? So, sure, why not? So I applied, I got in, and I went to England for what I thought was a year, and I ended up staying for over 5 years. From the Royal Horticultural Society, I went to the Royal Botanic Gardens Kew with a 3-year diploma course. And Kew is the equivalent of Hogwarts for people who geek out on plants. It's just amazing. It's an epicenter for all things botanical, world conservation, and the people you meet are incredible because all roads lead to Kew for botanists and people that love plants. And it changed my entire career focus because I was eligible for travel scholarships. I got to go to Brazil. First time in a rainforest. I was in Brazil for a few weeks in the Atlantic rainforest. Another scholarship took me to Borneo for 6 weeks. And then on my own, I went to the Mediterranean island of Crete, Tunisia, you know, quite a few other places. And I realized then that at heart, I'm still an explorer. And although I love landscape design, I ended up changing my whole path to botany and ended up staying in England for an additional year to get a master's degree in botanical taxonomy at the University of Reading. I would have stayed in England. I loved England. Felt so at home there, but the climate was killing me. Just horrible, cold, gray climate. So I put the word out I wanted to work in the tropics, and I ended up in Thailand and working for the Thai government on behalf of Her Majesty Queen Sirikit, which is logical because I was working for the Queen of England, so then I went to work for the Queen of Thailand. And that was amazing. I was there for a year. And again, the only reason I left is there was a huge economic collapse in Asia that year. So basically, I couldn't afford to stay in Thailand any longer, but I loved it. The people are just magnificent. They're just so sweet and friendly, genuine people, and of course the plants and the habitat, animals. From there, I went to Florida and worked for the American Orchid Society. I helped them build a garden at their facility there. And then I did the opposite of what most people did. I moved from Florida to New York. I worked at the New York Botanical Garden and helped them establish an orchid show, which is still running now, I think 18 years later, one of the largest orchid shows in the country. Then I actually went back to my roots for a while and established a landscape design business in Greenwich, Connecticut. And that was going great until the stock market crashed. So I had to stop doing that, went to a place called the Native Plant Center in Valhalla, New York. And it was on the campus of Westchester Community College, and that was fantastic. It was all about northeastern wildflowers. From there, I went to Houston, Texas, and was there for 7 years, helping to redesign and build a botanical garden there. But Hurricane Harvey hit, and the garden went under 12 feet of water in some places. My house missed being flooded by about 3 inches, so I decided that maybe that wasn't the place for me. And here I am at Old Dominion University looking after an orchid collection. And The great thing is that after all these years, guess what? I get to play with plants again. I'm not an administrator. Well, I am an administrator, but I mean, it's my main gig is taking care of the plants and enjoying them, and it couldn't be more perfect. And I love being at ODU. I love the academic atmosphere here, and it's a very dynamic university, and of course the surrounding community, the Hampton Roads area is wonderful. And having grown up not too far from here, it was like coming home. And so I came home to my orchids. Well, again, I'm the associate director, so I'm in charge of curation of the collections, which, managing the database, overseeing the health of the collections, how we build them, that sort of thing, making sure that all of the operations work, the heating, cooling, venting. It's a complex machine, this entire facility. I mean, most people think that a greenhouse is a glass box that you just heat up in the wintertime. It's far from it. It's very complex. We also have a fog system in here that helps with cooling and humidification. Other universities have orchid collections and other plant collections that the public may be allowed into the greenhouses, but this actually has a set landscape house, which we're in right now, that the public can freely visit. So it's kind of neat. We're very unique. We have private collections that are given to us, and we do have a small budget for purchasing plants. We also have assistance from Tidewater Orchid Society, which was one of the entities that helped found this facility. They give us a donation every year just for plants, so that helps a lot. Orchids are not all very difficult to grow. There's some orchids that you treat, in fact, a lot of orchids you treat just like any other house plant. Don't let the orchid mystique drive you away from trying to grow an orchid. And I'm talking beyond what you can buy in the grocery store. There's a lot out there that's just beautiful and lots of fun to grow. If there's one takeaway, don't put ice cubes on your orchids. They are tropical plants. They do not like ice on their roots. If you put ice on your roots, it's a good way to have to go out and buy another orchid. I have so many favorites. I mean, I've been studying plants and been fortunate enough to go out into the wild in places all over the world. It's really hard to have a favorite, but I'd say just from a sentimental value, the Pink Lady Slipper is my favorite. I love live oak trees. I just think there's something really special about a big, huge live oak dripping in Spanish moss. Really wonderful. Yeah, I've been here almost 3 years now, and the first thing I noticed is that there were quite a few people that did not know this existed. Even people that worked here walked past it every day and had never come in here. So that's been one of my main thrusts, is to create more outreach, awareness, so that people will know that this is here to enjoy. And the price is right, it's free. Under normal times, the doors automatically unlock between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. So people can just walk in here and enjoy it. And it's, I like to say it's small, but it's significant. It's a little microcosm of a tropical habitat. And we do get a lot of students and faculty members that just come in here and like to sit for a little while and chill out, catch up with themselves, enjoy the beauty of the orchids. We do offer tours on occasion, behind-the-scenes tours of the greenhouses under special arrangement. And we do have open weekends in conjunction with the university on occasion, where we allow people to come in and enjoy the place. But yeah, the main message is, hey, Norfolk, you have an orchid house. It's really important that people know that. Well, we have a lot of really special orchids here. Arthur Kaplan, who helped build and establish this facility, donated a lot of his collection of orchids. So we have orchids that Arthur bought, which were progeny of orchids that were over 100 years old. So we still have pieces of those orchids. It's really hard to say. We do have really rare species or rare hybrids that were created even back in Victorian times. But almost every orchid is special in its own way. They're probably the most diverse flowering plant on the planet. The second largest flowering plant family with about 28 to 30,000 species. They grow everywhere except Antarctica, and with global climate change, they'll probably show up there pretty soon. Orchids were one of the first plants to colonize the island after Krakatoa erupted back in the 1800s. So they don't miss a trick. They grow from Arctic tundra all the way down into the lowland tropics. They grow on trees, rocks, and of course in the ground terrestrially. There are even orchids that grow completely underground in Australia. Some orchids can go underwater for weeks or even months at a time and come out just fine. So they're incredibly adaptable, and their flowers are highly adapted to attracting and guiding their pollinators to ensure their reproduction. One thing, particularly when I talk to students, I think it's really important not to limit yourself. I was given opportunities, and that were my dreams from the time I was a child, but I never thought they were going to be possible. And initially, when I was offered these opportunities, I was like, oh gosh, I can't do that. That's crazy. How in the world can I possibly afford to do this? And then somebody checked me one time and said, well, why not? And I was like, hey, yeah, why not? So I tell students all the time, if somebody comes to you out of the blue and offers you the opportunity to do something that you think is just totally outrageous and crazy, but if your heart says it's what you should do, ask yourself why not. And it'll get you in the right place every time.